So unless you've been hiding under a rock on Mars or something, you'll know that Andrew Tate has been banned from Facebook and Instagram. He's been banned by Meta. So what is it exactly that Mark Zuckerberg finds so troublesome about this red pill TikTok sensation? Is it, as they claim, that they're worried about his, quote, extremist views and misogyny? Is it really, as the BBC claimed, that he is a genuine threat to young men? That he is radicalising them towards extremism, misogyny, racism and homophobia, as the director of UK advocacy group Hope Not Hate, Joe Mulhall, claims?
Yeah.
Beta!
I have a sneaking suspicion that it's something else. Do they really expect us to believe that they're protecting young men by banning Andrew Tate? They're talking about Andrew Tate's sudden emergence over the last few months on various social media sites, on TikTok and YouTube, as though all of the content that's coming up associated with Andrew Tate is overwhelmingly positive and supporting him. Now, I don't know about everybody else's algorithm, but certainly the things that have come up in my feed, the vast majority of people that I've seen have either given a bit of a balance, you know, some things they like about what he says, other things that they don't. But the people who are commenting on his videos and the people that are debating him, a lot of them are criticising him. Either the people who are advocating for his banning are wildly out of touch, which, yeah, I think probably quite a lot of them are, certainly people like Joe Mulhall, the director of Hope Not Hate. Either they're wildly out of touch and believe that he's creating a generation of misogynist, racist, homophobes, or there's something else that they don't like about what he's saying, and they want to draw attention away from that other thing. And I think I know what it is.
Something, man. When this corona thing was going on, I flew here from Romania on Wizz Air because you can't get first class flights into Europe. It's all just low cost carriers. I'm flying Wizz Air. I have a mask on. Excuse me, sir, put the mask over your nose. This fucking air stewardess, this minimum wage bitch. So I put my mask on my nose, Everyone was freaking out about masks. I had to fill in all these home office papers when I landed, all this crap, PCR test, blah, blah, blah. I thought I'm not doing that again. So about 2 months later, I flew on a private plane. No mask, no PCR test, no home office paperwork. My pilots weren't wearing masks. When I landed at Biggin Hill Airport, the people who met me in the BMW, no one was wearing a mask. Nobody had a mask on. No one asked me to fill in shit. Do you know why? Because I was rich. Corona doesn't exist for the rich people. As soon as you pay 50 grand for a flight, no, they don't trouble you then. They trouble the shit muncher on the Wizz Air flight. It's all a fucking scam. All of it's a scam. And this is how the whole world has always worked and always will work. And people at the bottom just don't seem to get it. They don't seem to wake up. And they don't seem to wake up because the people in charge try very hard to keep them asleep. If you had a whole bunch of people who were your slave, why would you tell them the truth about the world? Why would you do that? No. When's the last time you went to school and learned how money works or banks work or taxes or any of the things that they use to control you? No. They teach you about fucking photosynthesis. They don't want you to know anything. They don't want us to know anything. They just want us sitting there going, okay, he's a panda and I stay in my house because of corona. Clap for the NHS. Like a performing seal. Like an idiot. And people are idiots. So they control them. And then they come to me and go, Tate, how'd you make all this money? I opened my fucking eyes. I looked around me. I started to think. Things that people never seem to do. I don't know how they live in a dream for so fucking long. I woke up out of the dream, right? But this is the truth. Governments are absolutely the enemy of the people. They always have been. They always fucking will be. Fuck all of them.
Oh, now that just will not do, I'm afraid. That's not the message. How are we ever going to get the mob, the thickos, the plebs, to eat bugs, to live in pods, to give up private property, to start washing themselves with a cloth damped in cold water instead of taking hot showers, to accept their new echelon as a completely useless, expendable caste of society, to sit at home masturbating, taking drugs and playing video games?
In the Industrial Revolution of the 19th century, what humanity basically learned to produce was all kinds of stuff, like textiles and shoes and weapons and vehicles. And this was enough for very few countries that underwent the revolution fast enough to subjugate everybody else. What we're talking about now is like a second industrial revolution, but the product this time will not be textiles or machines or vehicles or even weapons. The product this time will be humans themselves. We are basically learning to produce bodies and minds. Bodies and minds are going to be, I think, the two main products of the next wave of all these changes. And if there is a gap between those that know to produce bodies and minds and those that do not, then this is far greater than anything we saw before in history. And this time, if you're not part of the revolution fast enough, then you probably become extinct. Once you know how to produce bodies and brains and minds, so cheap labor in Africa or South Asia or wherever, it simply counts for nothing. Again, I think that the biggest question maybe in economics and politics of the coming decades will be what to do with all these useless people. I don't think we have an economic model for that. My best guess, which is just a guess, is that food will not be a problem. With that kind of technology, you will be able to produce food to feed everybody. The problem is more boredom and what to do with them, and how will they find some sense of meaning in life when they are basically meaningless, worthless. My best guess at present is a combination of drugs and computer games.
There's a chance that we will never reach that utopia if we allow people like Andrew Tate to unchain the prisoners, to allow the mob to see something else other than the shadow play. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on why Andrew Tate got banned. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you've enjoyed the video, like, share, subscribe, all that sort of thing. Become a member if you want personalised content and all of that sort of stuff, which would be good for me. Quit my day job. Anyway, see you in the next one.